Sorry to interrupt this great video, but please remember to like and subscribe. Thank you. Now back to the video. Well, the LIV Tour makes its stop in Chicago, just part of the journey of LIV and its unique style and its popularity. And anybody that listens to me knows that I have supported the LIV Tour from the beginning. I never loved the way the PGA Tour, which was officially a charity, treated some of its golfers. And I had said for years that Greg Norman's and Phil Mickelson's had verbally come out and said they were disappointed. And so when they left, I supported them and still do. Kevin Na also made that decision. And, when I defended LIV golfers, one of the things I said was, these guys grew up wanting to be on the PGA Tour. They dreamt of the US Open and Pebble Beach and the Masters. So this was a hard decision. A lot of people looked at the dollars and said, well, it's easy. No, when you have a dream and you land it, it's hard to separate you from that dream. Do you remember, Kevin, the day, the week, the car ride, when you and your family decided, I'm going to leave the PGA Tour? And do you remember the emotional moment of that, the epiphany?
Yes, I do. It wasn't an easy decision. I thought about it for weeks. I just discussed it with my team, my family, and even, I even had a talk with Jay Monahan before I left. Like I literally called him, with the paper when I had the offer and I had the contract, and I weighed a bunch of options. But at the time, there were some of the things that some of the players would wanted to see change in the PGA Tour, the direction the PGA Tour wanted to go, and none of those things were happening. And when this the league was forming, and the offers were going out, and it was a great opportunity for me because I played the PGA Tour for 19 years, and
Right.
I loved it. I loved every minute of it, and I was grateful to be there. I enjoyed it. It was a great platform for me to play, and I'm grateful and thankful. But when this opportunity came along to play this team style with individual team, play around the world, and at the same time, have some security. Not that I didn't with the PGA Tour. I was pretty successful out there as well, but it felt like it was a new challenge, and it was exciting, and a lot of the great names of the game of the golf were joining, and I wanted to be a part of it. I wanted to be a part of this new adventure, and that's the reason why I made the jump.
Yeah, and I think, it's something to remember. The word globalization. You grew up in California, of Korean descent. You grew up in California. You're a
Yes.
global citizen to some degree. My mom's from England. We all are, or descendants of it. But we see this with all businesses. And I know as I've aged and experienced travel, I love the idea I love the idea of traveling. I love the idea. I've moved to 6 different companies.
Wow.
When you go to the LIV Tour, was there anxiety? Were there nerves? Take me to your first 6 months. It's like a new job for you.
Yeah, it was different. The biggest change I felt was the music was so easy for me. I really enjoy the music on the golf course. That part I have no issues with. What was a bit of a transition, and it took me a little bit to get adjusted to, was the shotgun start. Starting on a random hole. There's a flow of that golf course, right? You start on one
Right.
or 10, and you know where you're at. Like some of the holes, the stretch you got to take advantage of. Some of the holes you kind of have to be, you want pars are good. That kind of disappeared, and so that part was a bit awkward in the beginning. I got used to it now. But besides that, it was cool to travel around the world and to see, like, look, I played the Open, I played in Korea, Asia, but to go around the world and all these golf fans come out and say, to come root for you, come watch you, and asking people in the crowd, say, hey, Kevin, I want to see you walk in a putt, like things like that. It was pretty cool to go different corners of the world and to play in front of the crowd, and for them to see, the big names of golf like Brooks, DJ, Phil, all these guys, Bryson, for them to see those guys in different parts of the world, where before, when everybody played the PGA Tour, it was very rare that we all got together and played in different parts of the world. So I think that was a very cool experience, and we can see that the fans are welcoming us in different parts of the world and enjoying us watching, and it's a rewarding feeling.
You know, I think they're initially, and like any change in life, there's animosity. People don't like change. In America,
No.
40% of Americans never live outside of the area code they were born in. Isn't that
Wow.
crazy?
That is crazy.
So when there was change, I remember going on the air and saying, "Yeah, there's going to be some animosity.
Yeah.
There's going to be some emotion with it." Do you think that's dissipated over the last year? That initial shock is now, well, I can watch the Shambo at this tournament. I can watch Kevin Na here. Is that there's a realization that this is what's happening in all business?
Yeah, I think in the beginning, you know, like you said, people are not comfortable with change. And when we were making this jump, the PGA Tour, a lot of the media, they said it's not going to happen. They're going to fold in 6 months, 4 months. It's never going to last. But the league has proven that we're sticking around. And and when our players, Brooks won a major, Bryson won a major, when playing live, and these guys are still playing well in major championships and showing good performance and watching us grow, they're starting to realize that we're not going anywhere, we're sticking around. And at the same time, when the PGA Tour is asking for investment from PIF, then all those attacks towards the players that made the first jump it's been silenced a little bit.
Yeah. So I have to ask you. I told my wife, you have 3 kids, you're married, 3 kids. So family and golf, I felt LIV gave you an opportunity perhaps to golf a little less, more time with family. And my take is if people are happier at home, they're more productive people. It's just a better way to live.
Yes.
And by the way, before you left the LIV Tour, PGA golfers today had it easier than PGA golfers 40 years ago. So,
Yes.
I mean, everything changes. Tell me a course that maybe isn't talked about a lot globally that you love. If I said, Kevin, give me your favorite course that I would never guess and why.
Hong Kong Golf Club, amazing. Hong Kong Golf Club, it's been around forever. It's an old style golf course. I think it's an amazing golf course. Every time I go there, I think the city is amazing. I think the golf course is amazing. I think the fans are amazing. Obviously, Korea, first time playing it this year. The Jack Nicklaus Golf Course is a pretty good golf course, but I'm a little biased because of my Korean descent. And I love going to these Asian countries and playing. Me obviously being Asian, the Asian fans are gonna, feel like a bit more of a home crowd. And speaking of families, in the past few years, we've taken. It's hard to travel with 3 kids internationally, but
Right.
we've taken 1 or 2, and at times at 3, to these different countries, and I was able to show my kids different parts of the world at a young age, and I think that's very, very cool, and for them to, to learn different cultures, to experience, and I think it really opens their eyes to the world, right? And we really enjoy that experience. And honestly, like I'll be honest, like I've never been happier at home. My golf game honestly hasn't been that great. I feel like in the last few rounds, something has clicked, and I think I'm about to go on a good run of golf. But look, at home, I'm home more often for my kids. I get to travel the world with my family. Looking back at it now, I think it was a great decision. I've talked about this with my wife, and when we go back 2.5, 3 years ago, if we go back, if we had a time machine, would we make the same decision? And the answer is yes.